So, Sam Hinkie is no longer in charge of the Philadelphia 76ers. Trust can only last so long. Brian Colangelo, within an hour, was already taking over for his slot. I'm pretty sure that we all understand what the story was there. Sam Hinkie quoted many remarkable figures in his 13-page essay, which I think was more intended to eventually make its way to the public rather than stay behind closed doors. So Sam Hinkie took the biggest gamble in GM NBA recent history, at least. And it still could pay off, but he's not really going to be around to enjoy the spoils.
Yeah, I mean, I'm disappointed for Sam Hinkie because I was one of those people that did trust the process. They had a few missed draft picks, Michael Carter-Williams, Jahlil Okafor I'm not a fan of as the third pick last year. But they have a lot of good talent on that team that I thought if they gave time to develop, Dario Saric coming over this year, maybe Joel Embiid gets healthy, suddenly next year, maybe you're this year's Timberwolves. And then people are suddenly looking at that team as one of the best young teams in the league. And I think it's unfortunate he didn't get the opportunity to see this through, but I understand him leaving, considering the fact from Colangelo, he's feeling the pressure. Maybe they want to accelerate the process, whereas Sam Hinkie knows he's seeing far enough ahead that it will work if they give it time. But now, the ultimate variable with Brian and Jerry Colangelo, who knows what's going to happen this summer.
It's funny you say looking far ahead. I think that's all Hinkie really knows how to do is just play the long game. He'd be a good hedge fund manager. So not only do they get Saric and Embiid possibly back next year, they're definitely getting a top-tier player at the top of the draft, most likely one of those two guys at the top. And they have enough cap space to get Warren Buffett to sign for them, for God's sake. So, I mean, Philadelphia is in a great position their roster will be so stocked with young, raw talent next year that everyone's going to be looking at them as really a winner in the end.
Yeah, I mean, possibly, unless Colangelo this summer trades these young assets for players that aren't of equal value. I mean, it's one thing if he does what people want the Celtics to do, and that's trade the picks for a Jimmy Butler or DeMarcus Cousins or Blake Griffin, a guy like that. That's one thing. But it's another thing if it turns out he just turns around and trades these guys for an Al Horford level player, which would be helpful. But that doesn't get you where you need to be.
Not the right situation.
Exactly. And I wonder if that's what will happen this summer, because there's no guarantee if any of those star players are available that they'll sign off on a trade to Philadelphia, because these organizations want to put these players in the positions they want to be. So even if they don't have a choice, they do kind of have a say in the matter.
All right, well, I'm sure you'll be hearing from Sam Hinkie very soon in another front office, probably Houston, but we'll see what happens. He definitely does. That's going to do it for us on the Garden Report, brought to you by CLNS Radio and Celtics Blog. For Kevin O'Connor, I'm Jared Weiss. We'll see you after the next one.